Today we need to talk about how to get things done when you've got both autism and ADHD. And maybe you've only recently discovered this about yourself, such as me. Somehow I was surviving for 42 years not knowing I got both of these things. And I'm not saying it was always easy, it's still not easy. In fact, this is the first video I have filmed in the past 2 weeks because I was walking around with pneumonia, didn't know, guys. This is just what has worked for me in my own search to be more productive and to not fight against my neurotype. These are just some things that I discovered on my own even before my diagnosis, and then some of them are things that I started doing after my diagnosis because I was like, oh, people are saying this works? Okay, let me try that. So yeah, let's get into it, guys. Okay, first things first, even before I got diagnosed, a book that resonated with me was The One Thing, in that I can ask myself every day, like, what is the one thing that if I do this, everything else will be easier or unnecessary. So what's the one thing I can do each day to basically pave the path for everything else? From what I've been learning, it's like sometimes with ADHD, it's like hard to prioritize, right? But on the other hand, like with autism, we're all about like routines and planning and knowing ahead of time like what we need to do and things like that, like just having a good plan, right? So ADHD is more about like creativity, impulsivity, and kind of just like being able to go with the flow or whatever and just figure it out as you go. It's hard, right? So what I do is I personally use the finisher's journal. It's been really helpful for me to achieve like shorter term goals and milestones and things like that. The reason that I love the finisher's journal is it's basically got what's your one thing that you could do such that if you do that, you know, everything else will be easier. So we've got the primary task, which is for me today is to film stuff. Check. Have to do that, you know, a girl's gotta eat, all that good stuff, and I need to plan some sponsorship footage. I do time block a bit. I'm not strict about it, I just have like more of like windows in which I want to do stuff. Whether it sticks to that particular time or not, I don't know, especially with like ADHD and like time blindness and stuff, like. But regardless, I write it all down, and I really write everything down the night before. I can already brain dump everything if I write it down the night before, and it's not in my head, it's not like swirling around overnight, and it helps me go to sleep. And then I also just kind of decide what's the most important thing on here, or like what's the thing that I need to do to move the needle, right? Like if I can't necessarily be like, what's the most important? And me making videos is the number one thing to move the needle. So I do that now. I'm doing the thing, guys. Not saying that works for everybody, but this is just what works for me. Like it's structure, but not super. Like it's enough, it's here, and it's like 1, 2, 3, there's like 3 things. Okay, so that's the main thing that kind of guides what I do each day. I would just say that's so important to just have good self-care, you know, whatever that means for you. For me, that's like taking care of my body. I know that if I eat well, if I stay hydrated, if I get enough sleep, and I don't have like tons and tons of sugar, I know that if I do those, I'm setting myself up for success. So I'm like a sleep fiend. That's what my whole first channel is about, my main channel. If you don't know, I have a main channel. It's about like minimalism, floor life, like floor sleeping, floor sitting, all that stuff. But a part of it is like, how do you get better sleep? Yeah, I track all of that stuff to make sure I'm giving my body the best chance, my body and my mind the best chance to function optimally. Even way before I got my diagnosis, I was all about this. I'm gonna say that's like the underlying message for all of this, no matter what, like how do you get stuff done? Well, you have to set your body up for the best chance of success. Everything is more manageable if I set myself up for success. Next, I want to say, you know, done is better than perfect. I just really try to go into each day with like, even for videos, I would, you know, autism side wants to plan, make sure it's perfect, blah, blah, everything. So there's less chance of failure and stuff. ADHD side is kind of just like ship it, create it, do it. Like, and it gets so much joy out of just like creating something on the fly. Like I get so much fun out of that. So there's me trying to figure out how to have a good balance of both. But what I do know from experience of doing it over and over again, especially with YouTube videos, by the time it's like 80% good, just ship it. Your people will find you. It's never gonna be perfect. It just needs to be done. There's so many people that have all these amazing ideas, but they never put anything into action. And I just, over time, I just realized done is better than perfect. So just get something done and then move on. And it was really hard for me to do at first. And people don't care half the time. For me, it's all about self-actualization. How can I be the best version of myself? Well, if I'm not doing anything, that's not the best version of myself. So what can I do today that my ideal version of myself would be doing? These are just the little rules that I have in my head that help me to actually take action, when in the past, my past self would have not done it, would have felt it was too risky, that it was not worth it. Excuse me. Accountability partners. This is something that I've been doing more recently, but it really helps me because basically I have friends that I can tell what I'm doing for the day, and if I don't do it, and if the stakes are high, then I know that I have to do it. So if I tell somebody I'm gonna do it, then I say, if I don't do this, I'm gonna pay you money. That works great for me, guys. I do that like almost every other day. So yeah, maybe look into an accountability partner. I do have a free community if anybody wants to like try to connect in there. Maybe that's something that I feel like I should also put that as like a, hey guys, do you guys want to connect and have accountability partners? You don't have to give them money if you don't do something, but someone to tell each day what you're gonna do, and they tell you too, and then both of you do the things, and then you're happy. If you want to take it to another level, like I also do body doubling, and that's been super helpful. I've even done like body doubling on my main channel, like live stream. I painted a whole wall on a live stream and it got to like 80% done. It looked good already on camera, but I still needed to paint the trim. I still needed to put in new doorknobs, and I couldn't do it. Instead, I would just move the camera around, but then CNN came to interview me for floor sleeping, so I was like, I gotta paint this wall. So I literally put it on a live stream, and everyone was just hanging out and cheering me on. Thank you guys for doing that. Like, I don't think I would have gotten it done if I hadn't just been so public about it. I was live streaming for like 2.5 hours, guys, but I got it done. That's why body doubling has been my favorite new discovery. If you sometimes feel like it's hard for you to get started on stuff because maybe you feel overwhelmed with like sensory issues or things like that, I have a free coping sensory regulation cheat sheet down below. You can download it. I also have the free community you can join if you want. Check it out. But what I would love to hear is what works best for you guys. Like, how do you guys get stuff done? How do you get started? Or what sets you up for success each day? I would love to learn from you guys and hear from you down below. What has worked for you? What doesn't? Things like that. The finisher's journal's down below too, just in case you're interested. And I will see you in the next one.